Hi guys, and welcome to my review of Arsenal's game against Man City in the FA Cup semi-final. Um, Wembley, Wembley, we're the famous Arsenal, and we're going to Wembley. Well, back to Wembley. Um, Unbelievable, unbelievable. If you told me in that morning, yesterday morning, we were going to turn over Man City 2-0 with an unbelievable defensive and counter-attacking display, I I would have thought you were on drugs. I would have thought you were mad. But that was just unbelievable. Just undescribable. Where did that performance come from? Where has that performance been all season? Right? And it makes you wonder that, yeah, these players can do it. They can. They put the effort in, they can do it. Right? And what we ask is, why can't you do it 4 out of 5 games a week? For 4 out of 5 games. Why is this always once in every so many games? Right? Why can't you do this consistently? Right? Because you've got the talent, you can do it. But I'm just gonna focus on this performance because this is just unreal. Um, Obviously, Chelsea and Man U are about to play each other. I think in like 15 minutes. I couldn't give a crap. If you really want me to make a decision who I'd rather Man United, because I like the rivalry. Um, but yeah, whoever. I mean, we've just gone in the space of a week, beaten Liverpool, the new Premier League champions, and the champions of the last 2 seasons who have been dominating, right, and trying to monopolise the Premier League, right? Man City for the last 2 seasons have been dominant and dominant and dominant. We've just beaten them and Liverpool, the top two in the country at the minute, right? With an unbelievable display, and I am in shock. I'm still in shock. I still have to keep checking my phone and check the results on Arsenal.com, right, to see if it was actually believable. Every player to a man, immense, immense, right? They fought for every blade of grass, right? They Any little errors they made up for, right? They wanted that. They really wanted that game. They wanted that final more than Man City, who I would say were pretty poor, to be honest. Right? At not one point, I think they had 93% possession, and it shows like that we've seen time and time before at Arsenal where we've like I remember when the days with Wenger where we used to dominate the ball, right, dominate the game, but we get criticised for not winning the game. In the end, you can look at the stats and say, yeah, they've had this much possession, they did this, right? What counts is what's in that top left corner, right, which says Arsenal 2, Man City 0, right? That's the only stat that matters, right? And people have been moaning the fact that Arsenal are not gritty enough, they're not physical enough to fight and put up a display like that, right, and do what they need to do to win the game, not what they want to do, which is play the pretty football. And they did that. They played the ugly way. They played parking the bus. Right? This is not the tactic Arteta wants to. So all you rival fans that are saying, right, you're now glorifying parking against the bus, right, when you used to have a go at Mourinho for doing that. Shut up and sit down. Shut up and sit down. Right? Because Arteta doesn't want to play that way. He doesn't want to play that way. he is doing it because he has got that is the only way he has been able to get wins out of this shit squad. He is using the tools that he has at his disposal at the minute. And the only way he can do that and win games, especially against one of the top two sides in the country, is by counter-attacking football, parking the bus, right, and hitting them on the break when we need to. And they played that to perfection, right? Even Mourinho's going to be dreaming of that performance for his Spurs players today when they play Leicester, right? He's supposed to be the fucking expert, but even Arteta's showing him how to do it. Right? The as I said, I think on the football, as I said it in the super chat during the game and at the end of the game, the pupil beat the master. Right? That right. Arteta has been listening to his master, right? Taken all his notes, written up all his coursework, did all his exams, right? And got an A fucking star, right? Got his first first degree, masters, the whole lot, right? Absolutely, Pep was left like that. What am I doing? Oh God, right? He's checking. I've just made this double substitution and he's just checkmating me. Oh shit. And that's supposed to be the greatest manager on the planet. On the planet. I have to admit, when he first came in, I was skeptical. I thought the job would be too big for him. Right? His first job, and he's got to deal with all the problems that this squad. Big egos, players not wanting to play. Just Arsenal on a really bad run. Right? One of the players telling the fans to fuck off. Right? Absolute discontent throughout the whole squad and throughout the club. Right? Discontent with the fans. He knew that if he didn't get off the ball running, the fans are going to be on his case. And yes, there's been bumps on the road, but that's been him trying to learn what he's got and what he can use and what he can do. And finally, that performance there typifies all the hard work that he has done and has implemented into his squad. And I thought he would be here to lay the foundations for the next manager to build on. I actually now think he is the one that's going to take us back to where we belong. Honestly, it's a long time and a very long time that I've sat there and now thought of a manager that thought, shit, this guy could take us back to where we need to be. This could take us back challenging. We haven't got a God-given right to win the title. No one has. But you have a right, especially the club of our stature, to compete for titles, compete for cups, compete for European competitions. I didn't really want the FA Cup because it meant you had to go in Europa League. Right? And if you don't want Europa League, you don't want the FA Cup. You can't have both. Right? Because one comes with the other. Right? So, but the way Arteta played that game, the way Arteta's been playing this squad, and the fact he will get a chance, I hope to God the board give him a chance in the month of the transfer window he gets to bring players in that he wants to implement his ideas so that we can deal with Europe. We can win the FA Cup, get into Europe and deal with Europa League whilst still building. We just need the board to fucking back him, right? Probably Stan ain't seen the fucking result. Maybe need sort of fucking performance, right? But if he's out in America, back this man. Back this man or fuck off. End of story. Because I don't think there's anyone else at the minute that Arsenal can go to. Right? And there's a fair amount of people. So I'm going to get into my play ratings. Right? And this is probably going to be the most easiest ratings I've probably ever done, and probably the most highest. So just get the results here. Um, so yeah, just have a look here. So yeah, here we go. So Martinez in goal, 10. Perfection. Absolute perfection. I That stop against Mahrez, he's going one way and had to check back to get to his near post. Unbelievable save. Right? In key moments of the game where the defence did get broken, he was there, putting his command in that box, dealing with the crosses, dealing with the shots. Right? Leno, right, I feel sorry for him in a way because his injury has now meant he's going to have to fight like hell to get back in his side. Honestly, right? And it would be a real injustice if Leno just walked straight back into the Arsenal side after the way Emi Martinez has been playing. Because I think Emi Martinez can walk into most squads in the league, most squads in Europe. He is that good of a goalkeeper. Right? If we are starting to compare him to Leno, then we are starting to compare him to some of the best keepers in world football or in European football. Right? Because Leno at the minute is one of the best keepers in world football. So for me, a 10. Mustafi, I give 8. There was a couple of mistakes in there, and that's probably just being overcritical, maybe. But he was solid. Other than that, he was solid. I dealt with everything that came his way. Um, Dealing with the likes of Sterling, who at one point, by the way, Sterling, right? If you want to tackle, right, we'll show you how to tackle properly, right, and where you do get hurt. Not try and dive to win a penalty, right? Trying to get Mustafi a penalty by diving is just shows how much you were prepared to struggle to win. So yeah, I'll give him an 8, and the fact he had kept Sterling that frustrated and quiet that he had to try and resort to diving shows how much of a performance it was. David Luiz, a 9, nearly pretty much faultless performance, commanding in defence, in the centre of that defence. He loves being in that back three, especially to the fact he's got Tierney alongside him, not Kolasinac. Right, Kolasinac, bye, missing you already. Right, you're now just going to be a sub. Right, because Tierney's got your spot. Right, but David Luiz, because Tierney gives so much more freedom to David Luiz to do his job, because he hasn't has to worry about the crap beside him, because he's got a solid defender in Tierney. So, but he was absolutely immense. He sometimes, one time Sterling broke through, you thought, oh God, goal, he's going to bulge. And David Luiz throws himself on the ball, and that's what you want to see. You don't want to see him diving. You don't want to see him ducking under. You want to see him putting his body on the line, right? Preparing to die for this badge. And that's what every player did. Every player fought for this badge, right? And they deserve to wear this badge after a performance like that. So I give him a 9. Tierney a 10, right? I can't say anything else about this guy. We paid £25 million for him. Really? Celtic, you've been robbed. You have been robbed. right? You should have asked for a lot more money than that, right? Because we keep this guy injury free, right, which we seem to have managed to have done. This guy's going to be probably one of the best left backs in the league, right? And taking on the likes of uh, Liverpool's wing backs, as well as um, uh, yeah, I mean he could. I think he could fit into Man City's side yesterday quite easily. Right? He's that good of a left back, and the fact he can play in that three alongside David Luiz is even better. So I give him a 10. Hector Bellerin. I think Bellerin is going to be planting a hectare of trees. Excuse the pun, excuse the joke, it's probably terrible. But yeah, he's going to be planting even more trees now. Um, Outstanding performance. That competition between him, Cedric, Ainsley Maitland-Niles has made him come alive. It must be that because he has come alive because he's gone from 1 minute being really shit to 1 minute being really, really good. Knowing the fact that he's got Ainsley Maitland-Niles there about to take his position, performing just as well as as well as Cedric, who's now coming into the side. Um, so yeah, 9 for me. Danny Ceballos, a 9. He was um, a great. He was just his outlet to the forwards was brilliant. His him and Xhaka along with him fighting in the midfield, right, against the likes of Gundogan, Kevin De Bruyne, right, trying to keep them quiet is a job in itself, and they did that pretty much to perfection. There were a couple of times where I was a bit nervous because Kevin De Bruyne had time and space, but it was nothing that they couldn't deal with. Um, so, and Tobias, he's proving why we should keep him for another year. He gets a 9 from me. Xhaka, I thought was better out of the two. A performance like that surely just shows how much he has grown and changed since that incident at Palace. Um, I still wouldn't make him captain. I wouldn't make him captain after that. But um, that doesn't mean he's not forgiven. And I think he's allowed to be forgiven for that mistake because he's proven himself to be a great asset at the club. And he gets a 10 from me for that performance. It was absolutely outstanding. Ainsley Maitland-Niles. He's supposed to be a right wing back, but I can't tell because he plays just as good as a left wing back as a right wing back. All right, it's more natural for him to be on the right side, but as a left wing back, he was sent there to do a job. Yes, he wasn't getting forward as much as Bellerin, whose crossing was immense at times. The way he drove also at players as well. But when he could, Ainsley Maitland-Niles could, but his main job was keeping Mahrez, right, or keeping Mahrez quiet, and I mean quiet. Uh, there was one time one-on-one, and that's where Martinez stepped up with the save from Mahrez. And it was one of those where he needed support. There was no way he was going to be able to deal with Mahrez one-on-one in that situation. But other than that, it was faultless. He was sitting there to do a job, and he did it. End of story. So for that, you got to give him a 9. I give him a 9 at least. Right, the 10 would have been if he'd been able to do that job and still be the great getting forward pushing them back, getting the balls crosses in as well as much as Bellerin was doing that. Um, Pepe, people, why, why you want your big players to play in big games and produce big moments. He was involved in both goals, both, right? Yeah, he might not have scored, but he held the ball up for Tierney, who then lobbed it to Aubameyang to make it 2-0. He was also part of the outlet. The brilliant, that cross was insane. It was an unbelievable cross to put Aubameyang with a chance, an even harder chance than the one he had just 2 minutes before to make it 1-0, right? And that's what we've paid £72 million for. So these people who keep saying he's a flip flop, piss off, right? Get real, seriously, come on. Lacazette as well, right? His work rate was, oh sorry, I forgot to give Pepe a score. Um, um, 9. I think 10 would have been, he'd been able to do that and get a goal still, but that would be just me being greedy against Man City. I think 2-0 against Man City is plenty enough, to be honest, but hey, I'm loving it. I'm loving life at the minute. Lacazette, um, yeah, again, might not have scored as a striker should do, but he did all the work. The hold up play was bonkers, right? It was so good. Bringing people into play, right? Relieving pressure off defence. At one point, he was playing even as a centre back to help with the team, and that's what the team did. They defended together, they attacked together. They defended together, they attacked together. It was a team performance. Everyone threw themselves on the line to get that result. And for me, that's a 9. The only reason he wouldn't get a 10 is if he. The only reason he doesn't get a 10 is because he didn't score. But 9, absolutely brilliant. But my man of the match is Aubameyang. He missed his first chance was even easier than the second chance that he scored from. To be able to miss that sort of chance and then be able to convert the next one was even harder. And then have the cool composure to run onto Tierney's ball to make it 2-0, knowing that that goal would seal it. Balls of steel, right? That's why people saying he doesn't play at turn up in big games, right? He doesn't do this, he doesn't do that. Are these people for real? Or are you just taking a piss to wind us up? Right? Look at his stats. He is one of the hottest strikers in world football. End of story. The fastest 50 goals in Arsenal's history. The 6th fastest in Premier League history. Right? He's even gone faster to 50 goals than Thierry Henry, who at one point was the hottest striker on the planet. Right? That is why he wears number 14 on his shirt. Right? Give him some fucking respect. Right? Give him some fucking respect. End of story. So yeah, moving on to the substitutes. A lot of them weren't on for long, to be honest. One real score you can give is Willock. He came in to do a job in replace for Pepe. And yeah, executed it perfectly. 7 because he wasn't on for that long, and the rest wouldn't be standard 5, would be standard 6 because they were also did a really good job as well. So yeah, that's that's my review. That's my player ratings. Let me know in the comments below if you agree with these ratings or not. Right, I'll be very astounded if you don't. Um, or I've been too critical and they should all get tens. So yeah, if you agree with that, put it in the comments below. Leave a like on the video, subscribe if you're new. Right, all to you new subscribers, because the subscribers subscriptions have gone mad. Right, the fact I'm at 250 is just unreal, and it means so much. It really does. The medical stuff, as I've said on Football Terrace and other stuff, will be coming as soon as the season ends. I'll be working with the charity on that. But until then, I hope you enjoy the content. If there's any improvements I can make, leave them in the comments below. Until then, take care, stay safe, enjoy this win, enjoy this feeling, right? And Chelsea United, bring them both. Don't care, right? We just beaten Liverpool and Man City in a week, right? If we can do that, we can beat anyone, right? So stay safe, take care, and speak to you guys soon.